Hello, and welcome to another episode of What's Doing. Today is a very special episode of What's Doing because we are promoting our new film, Memori, which is a production of Creators 2. And here we have the three main cast from the film, Tato Hilal, Diana, and Hisham. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
So tell me one thing, how did you guys prepare for Memori?
Who?
All three of you.
Maybe we can start with the...
So masa saya datang masuk pintu tu ke sini, so I thought I nak di casting lah kan, right? So prepare everything, sad, yes, happy, scared. Tapi dia panggil saya duduk dekat situ, dekat sejam dia sembang je. Ni directornya, Abid. Bila aku nak di casting ni kan gitu. So tapi yes, ini ya, minum kopi black ke gula ke kita, so dah balik.
Tapi mungkin itulah casting dia.
But that was the process. That's what I wanted to see, whether how you have prepared.
Itu bezanya Malaysia dengan cara Abid punya casting.
International standard.
Yes, so kita punya casting selalunya okay, ambil kertas kan gitu. That's macam mana kita dibawa ke Memori ini. I tak tahu you berdua, tapi saya begitu dibuatnya kan. Dia punya nervous dia kan, ya Allah, takut. Saya sebenarnya jujur, saya takut. Takut sampai sekarang, takut. Jadi macam mana saya buat benda tu, and then next question lah, you.
I think sebab his character is the most important and most prominent.
Central, right?
I mean, yeah, and because of the disease that he's carrying as that's why the approach is different. I know a bit.
No, but then again, I think from where I saw you as a character, because we wrote the character for all three of you, and knowing your previous work, how you guys have worked, it was easy for us to write. But the whole story was in such a way that it was tailor-made, tailor-written for you guys. So I think, but knowing what your capabilities are on screen and how important your acting chops are, so that's one of the reasons why it was written that way.
And having said that, it actually helps me personally, I'm not sure about the others, a lot in terms of how I deliver my character. And us being friends on a personal basis, you know a lot of the things that's been going on in my life, adding it into the script as well, it really, really helps a lot. So what I needed to do was just so much to try and bring out Imran to life, you know, especially the emotional scenes. I need to get in mood. Like you mentioned, I was using the method acting. I took the route. So I was like really into this character. I shut myself out from the world. I mean, you knew I shut down my Instagram for a week or two, just so that I can just be in my zone to have that character. That actually, especially that particular scene that I have with Diana. I think it's really, really tough, that scene. Even though, you know, you can include some personal experiences and things, but it's different when you're acting it out. You know, you just want to be in the zone and you want to be as Imran and Rina. So that was how I prepared for
itu kamu.
Yeah.
Ya. Tapi Hassan, Abid tak kenal langsung pun. Tak pernah jumpa, tak pernah bercakap, tak pernah tengok. Macam mana ya Abid boleh pilih saya ya? Saya tak tahu.
I think from where I was coming from experience, and when I saw those things in you, you know, we are going in the right direction.
Okay, bercakap tentang method, right? Okay, katalah Diana, Hisham, it's not Datuk Hisham
No, tak ada.
Hisham, right? Me, Hilal. Method is basically as a cosmetic, improvise, meditations, basic, and the experience, right? Okay, reading, and then asking, right? Itu nanti kita bercakap kemudian selepas tu. Tapi sebenarnya semua metod itu tidak akan terjadi jika tak betul dia punya rasa, feeling. That most important. After the method that we had the Ferrari car body but the most important is engine. So itu yang membuatkan aku takut. Yes, I'm scared about that until now.
But Diana, how did you prepare for it?
Just be herself.
Exactly.
She has to switch. She has to switch.
I was
I
going to
love
come
it.
with that because
Right.
this is the first time I was working with somebody who has a switch. Means all
I
fun
see that.
all fun and games, and suddenly, bam, she's like
I can
0
never,
to 100
I can
in
never
like
match
6
up
seconds.
to that level. You can say play, then suddenly, boom, cry. Macam, oi.
Well, I think you guys have explained it already. To be honest, I've never been able to answer that question of how I get to play a role, because to me, I come to set and I first and foremost try to have fun, try to connect and build, trying to be comfortable with every single person on set, because you're going to be vulnerable, and the only way to do it is to feel safe around the people that you work with. So I think that's why, the playfulness is actually an intentional way of coming in and making sure that I get to know people on a more personal level. Okay, so when we talk about the story, in my opinion, when I was going through the script, I was really trying to find things that I love about each character. Because as Rina, she has to love them with all her heart. So I was building this love and care, first and foremost, as Datuk Hilal was mentioning, that you're building the engine of the car. So you need to understand the feel of how that person feels, and then the motivation will show, right? You build the motivation around how you feel about a person. So I understand what he means, and then you cover it with a type of method that fits the story. Yeah, so I really feel very blessed to have the connection that I did at that point feel I didn't want to lose both of them. And I think that's what Rina is about. She doesn't want to lose both of them because they're both very important to her. And that is how I approached the script.
That was basically, you were the glue in this relationship which stick them together. Means there was, a constant effort from your side of not giving up.
Yeah.
Was the reason why, things got better.
And also not being influenced by their sort of hate for each other at that point in the
baggage
story.
they were carrying.
Correct. The resentment that they had towards each other, and not being influenced by that, because her love for them is bigger than how they feel about each other. Because it's easy to be reactive as the person in the middle and having to also choose sides, but you love them both on an individual level, but you also see how these two need each other. So that's the kind of, I wouldn't say the psychology, but the understanding of the script. Yeah.
So what was the research you guys did for the roles, for all your 3 roles which you guys played? Was there knowing Diana, it comes natural to you.
No.
But was there any research which
Sure.
I'm blessed that my producer, director is very accommodating.
Yeah.
He gave us like a set full of dramas of movies that we could refer to, and a list of songs as well that I vibe to daily on Spotify while I was driving, just to get the feel, the mood of it. So those are the things that I do to get a feel of what Memori is going to be like. So that's how I wouldn't say it's research, but it's more of finding the vibe for this movie.
So you had that space where you can figure it out.
I think that's just me as a person. That's just how I approach things. I like to be deep into the ambience. Yeah.
He gave us a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Tak sempat nak
Anything,
tengok.
anything. I have some more. No, another one. See this? Oh, I see. So dia bagi kita tentang macam saya Hassan show Babas. How's the Babas? Oh, like that. Oh, like that. So that one is the true harta yang diberi melalui cerita yang dah ada. Beside I'm reading, look at the film as an example, and then asking people, look at my mom actually, my mother-in-law is half Nyanyo also, lost memory, and I look at her, or like that or like that or like this Singaporean talk like that
boleh.
or like that like this or what. So so actually I even masa saya nak tidur juga dia datang perkara ni, macam mana saya, so macam mana, so I have satellite atau parabola dekat sini mencari, and then it's not easy Abid, seriously, sebab saya tak pernah nyanyok. Tapi surprisingly semasa saya mula datang dekat sini, Puan Z dah kata, you in the character already, Hilal. I'm in the character Dili kah? Oh, say, so surprising. Bila Puan Z cakap macam tu dekat saya, serious, I rasa surprise. I mean, I didn't know I'll be in the character for that time. So I build up. Sebenarnya jujur Syam, Dina, setiap kali nak masuk scene saya jadi takut.
Dia faham?
No, but there was a lot of things, there were small things which added to the character, because, you know, when I look back while editing, you know, there were small, you know, parts which added to the character. Basically, you're shaking hands, you know, the way you walk, the way you talked. And the same with both of you, because how your, you know, interpersonals with each other, the way that you guys looked at each other, there was a little bit of hate, there was a little bit of resentment, there was a little bit of anger.
That was natural. No, didn't have to build that.
And how you,
No, I'm kidding.
you tried to, you know, guise your love for your son, and how you know, try to still be that authoritative character in the house while not giving away your disease as something of a shortcoming, I think was something which was very evident on screen when we were editing and seeing that the dynamics met with each other's personality. So I think that preparation really worked. So again, we shot in different locations for the whole month. And what was the most memorable, you know, part of the production which you?
They want okay, that one me. Carried my son Hisham when he's small. Drag him. That's the most memory yang sampai hari ini saya ingat.
This is at the island which we shot.
Yes, yeah. Sebenarnya masa saya tarik you masa kecil tu, halfway saya dah hilang nafas. Breathing, because number one is a sand, hot. Number two, because of the coral. Coral tu dah pecah-pecah dan tajam. So kita nak rasa kaki itu without the shoes, and then running. And then seriously, kalau I push, I pingsan.
Yeah, that was a very scary moment for us, because we had only one day, you know, at the island, and Dato was too intense.
It was a
by
physical,
dragging the kid,
yeah.
and his blood pressure and his heartbeat just shot up.
Probably, yeah.
Because he tried to pull the kid up the boat, and it was scary. So we had to like break in for an hour or so, more than an hour. So yeah, that was totally into the character. What do you think? What was your great memory?
Yeah.
I think that day was a good mother-daughter
Bond.
moment.
Yeah, I
bonding.
brought my daughter to the island where we were filming the shots, and I actually saw his scene, and I was quite scared because he seems very calm and collected, and it really shows also how a person can switch and become this very aggressive person to the people they love, and from people from the outside might not see it, and the victim or the person that's being put in that abuse situation, when you try to tell other people, it's almost like I couldn't like if I look at him now, I wouldn't be able to imagine that he would be so rough on a child, but there's that in every one of us, really. Talking about how the materials that I had actually looked into before filming Memori, you helped me a lot. For me, when I approach a movie, I always try to see, number one, what the director's vision is. So I really try to see where the tempo is, the type of shots that you would take, and really understand the undertakings, the visual planning that you were going to do, because I will be in that shot and then I have to also play with the frame that's given. So, the mood, the tempo, the momentum, and how the references that you gave were more important to me than my own personal journey of looking for the characters or my character. So that really just helped me. It's half of the journey already. And my best memory, I would feel, it's not so much about the scenes in the movie, but more of the knowledge that I gained after I finished the whole movie, because you really understand the pain as a caretaker to someone suffering Alzheimer's. I never knew how heartbreaking it can actually be. And, we always talk about the person suffering, but not about the people around them that are being forgotten, that have to deal with the everyday challenges of trying to manage them, and the fear of you can't even sleep well. Your life is just so focused on the patient or the Alzheimer's patient, because now you have to be their second brain. And it is so, I wouldn't say disruptive, but it does disrupt a lot of a person's life, even though they're your parent or your loved one. I feel so sorry for them, but it also makes me more in tune. And that's why at the end of it, until now, whenever I speak to you about the story, I'm still very heartbroken about the things you and Kazak had actually gone through, and at the end of it, you lose that person.
Yeah.
And then your life is supposed to just go on like normal again. It's that. I can never understand that. And it lives with me until now. So that's why I'm saying this movie has completely transformed me, on a personal level.
Thank you. Thank you. And Hisham, what do you think about?
Imran and Hisham share one very prominent similarity: our phobia of the sea. But the only difference is Imran managed to overcome his. While me, on the other hand.
But again, those shots of you in the sea, they're real because...
Exactly.
I don't know whether
And because
everybody
you know my phobia, you put me in the water because you want that real reaction, right?
But that was so real. Even when after the edit, right, of the film, I can see that this is reality. The guy is really scared.
I wasn't
of
acting,
water.
I am scared. but
I would like to tell people that Hisham went out of his way, which I was not aware of. He went and
yeah, I had to make
and
the
did
necessary arrangements for
arrangements
myself in order to
for
ensure
the buoyancy of his body to
yes,
float in the...
to ensure I live on another day to tell the story. So that was the most. There were two things that I was really worried about. One which obviously is that last final scene in the water. I couldn't sleep at night. I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I need to think of something. Yeah. So.
And that was all Hisham, because we were not aware of how Hisham is going to do it. Hisham didn't tell us what he's
That
planning
was
to
so
do
adorable.
But the face, the reaction was all natural. It was all real. So yeah, whatever people are watching on screen is...
Because initially, right, he wanted me to like face down. And face down in the water? Okay, I can do that. So on the day itself, I was like, Abid, so you want me to face down, right? No, it wouldn't be nice on screen. So how? I want you to face up. So I have to lie down like that? Yes. I was like, huh?
And nobody on the set is his structure.
Yeah.
People who are tall are not as athletic as what Hisham looks.
Yeah.
People who have that kind of a body structure are not.
So there's no way.
Right?
There's no way we could have a double because my face was exposed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
they could AI it, but I mean, no.
And he was there in the water for like what, 1.5 hours?
It was 3 hours.
3 hours, yeah. Because we divided the team, and team B
You could
was
squeeze seawater out of me after the whole thing. You could literally squeeze seawater out of me.
He looked miserable after that, because we were on the same boat on the
Yes,
way
we
back,
were.
and he was just like,
And they were like,
"Are you okay?"
After this, we go for dinner, okay? You make sure you go. He was like, make sure you go, okay? I said, yeah, okay. I wanted to go home already.
Cannot.
He was like, make sure you go.
I was dragged also, okay.
So, what do you think? How the audiences are going to react to this film? What will be their reaction to this, to watching this story?
I don't know, but we haven't seen it.
But again, this from a story perspective, what do you think that how audiences will react to a story like this?
I feel that there is so much wholesomeness in this movie. A lot of feelings and emotions and a lot of things that people out there can relate in terms of a father and a son relationship, or be it a parent and a child, a relationship between the two of them, and how, I mean, everyone would at some point in their life have certain kind of conflict or argument with their parent. And at the end of the day, a dad is still a dad, no matter how screwed up he might be. He's still your father. There must be somewhere deep inside your heart a little area that still has that love. I mean, in life sometimes, a father and a son could be going through so much. There might be so much hatred, but at the end of the day, it's a father and a son. Somewhere deep down inside, there must be that little area that, hey, I love this guy. I want to care for him. I want the best for him. So these are the little things that I hope could translate when the show is out. People could relate and enjoy and learn something, take home from watching this.
Yes, that's
Audience kena sedar. Sebenarnya cerita Memori ni ialah perkara yang hiding atau tersembunyi kepada manusia, ialah kita selalu ada rasa salah faham, salah sangka apa sebenarnya yang tersembunyi kepada setiap person yang ada di dalam rumah. Itu baru dalam rumah, belum lagi di luar. Dan sebenarnya how much these A persons love to the B persons, but he don't know how macam mana dia nak cakap benda tu kepada B. Dan that's B person tu pula memang dia sayang the A person, dan dia pun tak reti nak macam mana express I love you too, but dia ada but so many things, right? And then we quarrel, the arguments, salah faham, interpretation kita lain. Tapi dia enak benda itu. So seperti mana yang dah diberitahu kepada pihak penilai, awalnya belum siap lagi, right? Unique, different, original. Unique, different, original. That's I hope audience akan tengok cerita ini. Unique, different, original, tentang emotional manusia yang wujud dengan yang dah makin hilang. That's to think.
So, what do you think about the originality and the uniqueness of the story?
What?
Diana.
Okay. The originality and the uniqueness, huh? So you say these points and then you ask me to, okay, okay, let me see. Basically, what is unique about it is that it has a comprehensive perspective of both the person with the disorder and the person that has to caretake the person with the disorder. Normally, it's either or. You're focused on one and you miss out on the other's experience. In this matter, I think also another taboo thing amongst Asian families is the relationship between father, son, daughter, mother. There's always that tug and pull between. The conflict is always there because relationships are difficult, and relationships between parents and their children are even more difficult because it has to keep evolving from when a child is small and then they become, they grow older and then they become more independent, whilst the parent becomes less and less independent and becoming more dependent on their children. So how do you maintain these stages of life and manage the conflict that comes with the changes? And I think that that's what the story has actually successfully it's told, where the relationship between when they're small and how through the son's perspective that the father was oppressive and mean and aggressive and just heartless, whereas actually the father wasn't intending to do that, but that's the perception of the child.
Yep.
And then at the end of the story, you're unfolding these two perspectives and say, sometimes the truth can both sit on each other, and he's right and he's also right. They're just experiencing it differently. And that's also the beauty and the pain of relationship. So that's what I think people will enjoy most.
I like that quote.
Nah, dan dia berlaku apa
Beauty
yang
and
Diana
pain of
cakap tadi tu,
Yeah.
apa yang Diana cakap tadi, dia berlaku not just only for this family in this memory, but dia berlaku pada ruang yang seluruhnya, satu dunia, perkara yang sama, misunderstanding dan salah faham.
Yeah, and different perceptions.
Yeah.
Because a child can never understand it from the point of view of the parent.
Yeah.
Until they become a parent or until they become a full adult, will they really understand the circumstances of what the parent was actually going through. And it takes years for you to then reach to that understanding, and maybe then you can decide whether to forgive or to hold on to that resentment. Yeah.
That's actually what it is all about. It all boils down to your understanding of why your parents did what they did.
Perceptions.
So that brings us to the last question of this lovely conversation is, what message do you have for the audiences who are going to be watching this film? What they should be expecting out of the film, and how they should be, taking this film in their personal lives?
Okay. Di sini kita balik sikit. Rasulullah kata apa keadaan sekalipun kita kena kembali kepada Al-Quran dan hadis. Saya kena sebut benda ini ya. Maksudnya di sini ialah pertama kali kita jangan buruk sangka. Kerana buruk sangka tu Allah tak suka. Misunderstanding, persepsi, right? Dan nombor dua, sayangi apa yang kita ada semasa dia ada. No point bila benda dah tak ada baru kita rasa Allah, I should do something kalau sepatutnya, dan itu dah terlambat. Jadi rasa benda itu kerana apa? Apa yang Allah bagi kepada kita di saat itu ialah sebenarnya Allah menguji rasa kasih kita kepada orang yang kita sayang. Walaupun sebenarnya kita benci. Oh, dahsyat ayat je. Macam mana kita rasa kasihnya pada orang yang kita sayang walaupun kita benci, kerana itulah yang Allah bagi untuk menguji kita. Sorry, kita kena back pada Quran dan hadis sikit. That's it. Itu yang audience kena fikir.
And you, Hisham?
Me? I
Yes.
go first?
Yes.
Save the best for last. Okay. I feel, in conclusion, I really hope that when the audience watch this movie, it would bring them two things: realization and appreciation. Realize the things that they probably might be taking for granted, or probably the things that is around them, but because it's always there, you tend to overlook it.
Yeah.
So I hope they would realize that.
Take it for granted.
Take it for granted. And appreciate the things or the people who, like what Abba said, who are there while they are still there, in a state where they are healthy enough, they can interact with you, and not at a point where things become a little too late for you to realize and only to appreciate. Yeah.
That's well said. Well said.
I'm really still trying to construct something to say, to be honest. That's why I'm like...
So you wanted to buy time?
I
with me
wanted
going
to buy
first.
time, because I wanted to say something punchy. But I think Memory is a raw movie more than anything. It's not trying to become a movie, but I think what Abid would tell me all the time is it is just a slice of life. And we are just showing you what life really is and how things unfold and how things will reveal itself through your everyday actions or the things that you don't do. So the things you do and the things that you don't do are the consequence of what you will have to live with. And I think I wouldn't say like, oh, people are going to be so heartbroken watching this movie because I don't like expectations put onto the audience. But I do feel that you will walk away with understanding, one, the disorder or the disease itself, and two, the type of sacrifices that families actually make every single day for each other. And, this story is personal and this story is true, and living the life or us having to immerse ourselves in the lives of real people really woke me up to reality. This is not a made-up story, right? This is a true story. And to be able to live in their shoes for that whole month, I just felt, even as an actress, if I don't actually learn from that, then what's the point? And the beauty about movies is that, yes, it's 1 hour, more or less, but stories or movies with real stories are actually what I love most, because they're like documentaries, just visually more pleasing, right? So I really hope that people really immerse themselves in the struggles of each of the characters in this movie, and hope that they come out more aware, and they come out maybe giving a second chance to themselves if they have relationships that they feel might need to be mended before it's too late. Yeah.
No, well said. Because I think from my perspective, I think all three of you guys have left everything which you had on the table. There was nothing more a director-producer could ask for a story like that.
Maybe like better skin on that set.
From a character
if I
perspective.
lost a bit of more like weight, right?
Better complexion.
And maybe if you learn to swim.
Maybe if I
But for everything, dengan izin Allah, benda yang kita buat ni is for Baba.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was quite blessed to have all three of you guys on for this film, because I think we made the right choice, because everybody just went out and above what was expected out of them. And that's because while editing the film, and I kept on thanking my lucky stars that I got to work with you guys, and you guys just went above and beyond to deliver whatever was expected out of it. So thank you so much. Thanks a lot for the film, for Memori, and for this lovely interview and conversation which we had. And hope to see all of you in the theaters.
Yes. See
I'm
you guys
excited.
soon.